A bombshell interview with Phoenix Sun star Kevin Durant as he is speaking out on the trade rumors that surrounded him ahead of the NBA draft. He is calling some members of the NBA media liars, saying that they were basically making up stuff regarding him and his future with the team, saying that he wanted out when that just wasn't the case. We are going to break that down, as well as comments he made about the future of his career right here on Suns Digest. My name is CJ Pierre. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be breaking the news of what KD had to say in just a little bit. But first, we noticed that about 79% of you guys are watching our videos, and we appreciate that. But you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. If you want to make sure you're keeping up to date with all of the latest Suns news, rumors, anything that has to do with the team heading into Summer League and into training camp ahead of the next season, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing that we're going to have cooking for you. So now let's get into it. This interview with Kevin Durant, where he calls some NBA media members liars, saying that they are just lying on his name and making up stuff, and he needs to set the record straight. Kevin Durant, this all kind of stemmed from rumors that the Houston Rockets were going to try and attempt to trade for him after they acquired the Phoenix Suns picks from the Brooklyn Nets. The picks the Suns gave up in the Kevin Durant trade with Brooklyn, and that Houston was going after him. There were just reporting that Kevin Durant may want out and that Phoenix wanted out from Kevin Durant. Now, there was reporting from Brian Windhorst and Adrian Wojnarowski that Houston was very interested in KD, that they were going to make moves on him. I don't think that's necessarily what Kevin Durant's talking about. I think he's talking about the fact that there were rumors that he wanted out or that the Phoenix Suns wanted out from under him. So let's take a look at this report. The interview was done by Vincent Goodwell with Yahoo Sports. And you can check out that article. You can read the whole interview in full there. But we're just going to break down just a few key quotes that KD talked about in this interview during the sit down that he had with Goodwell in Las Vegas. Kevin Durant's in Vegas there with Team USA. They had their first practice. Devin Booker's there. The rest of the team's there. LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, and Kevin Durant decided to take the time and address these trade rumors, the lies that he claims that were being spread out about him, and just wanted to, like I said, set the record straight in that regard. Here's one of the quotes that he had in this interview. You could just press the KD want to leave button anytime you want some attention. Yes, it's a button. What else is going to get people going around this time? Besides, oh, the journeyman is leaving again. That story is always going to hit. Now, in that instance, Kevin Durant is basically addressing the stigma that he has around the league, that he is basically a mercenary that will just go wherever he wants whenever he doesn't think things are going down. Now, I think there's a little bit of justification to some of that mindset from NBA fans and maybe NBA media members. When he was in Oklahoma City and things didn't work out, they weren't able to win a championship there. He decided to go to Golden State. That was a huge decision that was made. They created that super team with him, Steph, Draymond, and Clay, and a lot of people criticized that. Basically, just they became this unbeatable, unstoppable juggernaut. And he was there for 3 seasons. They won 2 championships, and then things went south there. He got in an argument with Draymond Green on the sidelines after he tore his Achilles, and ended up getting traded to Brooklyn. Things with Brooklyn didn't pan out. They kind of failed, only got to the second round one time, then got swept by the Boston Celtics his last year there. He asked for a trade after the whole situation with Kyrie Irving. Then he ends up in Phoenix, and people are just kind of projecting that, Suns didn't work out, things were falling apart. Now he wants out again. Kevin Durant saying that's not true. He also went on to address, the things about the Phoenix Suns wanting to move off of him. Said it's hard not to hear what they got to say about you, especially when you could just make up lies and everyone's going to believe you. So for someone to say Phoenix wants out to get out of the KD business, I'm sitting here like, where's this coming from? It bothers me that people lie like that and that the audience eats up the headline. I get sad when people buy into lies and just make up bleep. Now, Katie was talking about someone in particular, I believe, and that person being Stephen A. Smith, one of the loudest names in sports media, one of ESPN's biggest names, the host of First Take. When the news started swirling around about the rumors that Houston wanted to go after KD, uh, owner Matt Ishbia came out and said That's not going to be the case. We want to keep KD. We want to keep our big three together: Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and none of them are going to be on the market. We're not trading any of them. Stephen A. Smith basically just called the Suns liars in that instance and saying that, yeah, they do want to move off from Kevin Durant. This is what he said. I'm reporting here. He said this on First Take. Pay no attention to what Phoenix is saying. They want out of Kevin Durant right now. That's a big statement. Basically saying that the Suns don't want KD on the team. They're ready to move off of him, get off of his contract, add some other pieces, and go from there. That completely contradicts what Matt Ishbia has been telling us all offseason. And that struck a nerve with KD. Obviously, he went on to say, it's bigger than ball at that point for me. I can't control that. I feel for people. It's a bad practice to have when you just believe anything, for one. Just believe what you see on TV. And then it's another bad habit when you're just lying. Now, Kevin Durant just in that instance, I feel like he's just basically calling Stephen A. Smith a liar, saying that what he's saying he's just making up. Now, Stephen A. Smith may respond to this on First Take on Monday. We'll have to see. We're gonna have to kind of see. It's he said, she said at this point, but based on what I saw and based on what the Suns did, it seems to me that they had every intention of keeping the big three together. They came out just right away and said that, and then they didn't make any player trades over the course of the draft and even into free agency. They haven't traded Nurkic. They haven't yet traded Nasir Little, even though I think that may be on the horizon. And they've added some younger talent, and they're almost done constructing this roster. They only have one roster spot left. All those tell me they had every intention of keeping Durant, every intention of keeping Beal and Booker, and the idea that one of them was going to be traded or that they wanted to move off of one of them, Kevin Durant in particular, that to me seems like a false narrative to spin in that regard. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We're probably never gonna really know exactly what the truth is, but I tend to side with Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns in this regard. But that's not the only thing KD talked about. He went on to talk about the future of his career and where he sees himself going from here. And he is not thinking about retirement at this time. Kevin Durant about to enter his age 36 season, and he is still one of the top players in the NBA, and he foresees himself continuing to move forward in that as he's getting ready to participate in yet another Olympics and try to win another gold medal. He still has eyes on winning in Phoenix, playing basketball, the sport he loves, and potentially winning a championship. Kevin Durant said there's a lot of things to factor in why I want to continue to play the game of basketball or why I keep playing. And obviously, winning every game I play is important. Playing with good people, playing the right way. I can tap in and roll at any time. It's about how many minutes, how many shots I'm going to get. I just love to play the game. If it's a good situation, if I'm still enjoying the game of basketball, my goal is to play this game till the wheels fall off for whatever role that is. So we'll see. Now, Kevin Durant just mentioned that he's, in this interview, he also talked about, being a role player and what that would look like. And he says, he's always been willing to play a role. That's the kind of player that he's been his whole career. And that's kind of been evident in terms of all of his stops in Oklahoma City. He was the primary scorer, the number one guy, star player. In Golden State, he was the best player on the team, but he also did his best to try and just fit in, be whatever they needed on that super team. They didn't need much from him other than putting the ball in the bucket, and he was able to do that to the tone of two championships, two finals MVPs. Same thing in Brooklyn, where he just kind of just was quiet and went out and just tried to do his job on the court and be a leader, set the tone by example. And he's trying to do the same here in Phoenix. And right now, I don't think there's any reason to think that KD is, about to, turn in the towel here soon and call it a career because he is still playing at a super high level. He's still one of the best players in the NBA. Just look at his stats. Averaged 27 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 52% from the field, 41% from three-point range. He's he's still an amazing player, one of the best players in the league. So the idea that he may retire and he just was just kind of addressing it just because of his age at this point, entering his age 36 season. Of course, the talk of, when you might want to, hang him up might come about, but KD, he's focused on playing ball. He's still playing at a high level. He's not going to enter into a role where he's going to be coming off the bench playing about 20 minutes per game. Kevin Durant's still one of the best players in the NBA, and he could help lead the Phoenix Suns to an NBA championship, and he is more than capable of doing it, especially with the team that the Suns are building around him. So that's what I think. We want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below about what you think about the fact that KD is calling out NBA media, calling them liars. He wants to stay in Phoenix. He wants to win and be a continued presence on this team now and in future years to come. That's all I got for you guys this time. I appreciate you guys joining us. We always appreciate the love. If you want to make sure you're keeping up to date with everything that we're doing, any updates on the Phoenix Suns, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And again, I appreciate you once again. Thanks for joining us this time. We will see you next time, and go Phoenix Suns.